Hello friends, welcome to this tutorial. So in this tutorial we will be building a complete project in Node.js. So this is a login registration system that we will be building using password library. So we will be using the local strategy in this tutorial. So you can see that this is a login page. Here I can just log in with my email address and password, and also there is a register button. So first of all I need to register a new user. So I just need to provide a name here. Let's suppose I provide John here. And then I provide an email address john@gmail.com, and then I give a password 123456, and if I click register here, you will see that guys it has prompting me to log in here. The user has been successfully created. If I just if I just show you, you will see that a unique ID has been assigned to it. So this is a current timestamp. We are not storing this in any database. Let's suppose MongoDB. We are just storing it in a session here. And the name is, you can see that John, and email is john@gmail.com, and we are hashing the password here. You can see that this is a hashed version of the password. We are using a library which is bcrypt in order to hash the password. Now we just need to use the same email address, which is john@gmail.com, and provide the same password 123456. If I click the login button, guys, you will see that guys this is a profile page, this is the home page, and you can see that hi John. So John was the name here, and there is also a logout button. If I click this button, I will be redirected to the login page, and now I can't go to the home page or the profile page. If I go back to it, it will be redirected to the login page. So now we are not saving these details through any kind of database. So now if I wanted to sign in with again this user, which is that is gmail.com, and enter my password 123456. If I click login here, you will see that it is redirected to the home page, but now it is just saved in a session variable. So if I just log out and open a new browser window, it will not recognize it. Let me just show you. If I just close this, and now if I open the application again, if I go back to the home page, you will see that it will still redirect me because the application is started here. Now if I just stop this server which is running, if I again restart the server, npm start, now let's suppose I go to the same URL, you will see that it will not recognize this john@gmail.com. Now if I refresh it, you will see that it will redirect me to the login page. If I just use the same email address, that is john@gmail.com, and provide 123456 and log in, it will see that no user with this email. So it is not saving the credentials. We are just using the session way in this tutorial. Now let's suppose I want to register a new client. Let's suppose I provide the name w@w. This is the email address, and let me just provide the password 123456. If I register here, you will see that guys I can just use my email address, which was this, and provide the password. Let's suppose I provide a wrong password, I will be having a message which is password incorrect. And if I provide the correct password, and if I provide the wrong email address, so in that case I will be getting a different error. If I log in, you will see that no user with this email. So we are using a special library which is express flash messages in order to display these kind of messages, these kind of errors. So let me just use the correct email address and password and log in, and you will see that this is printing out the name hi W, and our routes are also authenticated. If I just want to go to login, it will redirect me to this profile page because we are already authenticated. We need not have to go to login or register page. If I go back to register, it will still redirect me to this home page. Now if I just log out, in password library it has a built-in system for logout user. So if I just press this, we are calling the logout method, and it will successfully log out the user and redirect it to the login page. So now this is a complete application that we will be building from scratch, and let me just list out the dependencies that this project uses. So the first dependency, guys, is the express server that this application uses. The second is the passport library, where we are using the authentication tutorial. So we are using the local strategy here. So in password there are various kinds of strategies that you can use. We are using the local strategy. Fourth is for hashing passwords, we are using bcrypt.js. The fifth one is for displaying these error messages, that is incorrect password, incorrect email. We are using some kind of express flash library, and we are using also sessions for that, for storing information across various tabs. Here in the browser we are using express session. And the last method we are using is method override. So this is a special library in Node in order to override methods. Let's suppose in logout we are making a delete request, so in order to override that, we are overriding with post method. So this is the 7 dependencies that we are using in this project. So let's start building this project. So the very first thing that we need to do here is that go to desktop and create a new folder for our project. Let's suppose I name it as Node auth project. You can just give any name of your choice, and let me just open this folder in command line. So just go to here and type cmd. So this will open the project in the command line. So here we just need to initialize the Node project. For that I will be executing a simple command npm init -y. So it will create the package.json file with the default options. So you can see that it has successfully created this file. Let me just show you. You can see that package.json. Now we just need to install our dependencies, express all these 7 dependencies at once. So we can just write npm install express passport and passport local. This is a strategy that we will use in this tutorial. And the fourth is bcrypt. So basically this is the dependency in order to bcrypt JS. So this is a dependency in order to hash our passwords that we will be using in this tutorial. And the next one is, in order to display messages, we will be using express flash, and we also be using express session. So just write this. And the last but not least, we have the dependency which is method override. So also install this and enter it. So now guys, it will take some time because these dependencies are very much, 7 dependencies are there. So it totally depends upon the computer connection and the internet connection speed. So now it is just wait for a while, it is just installing. So now you will see that it has successfully generated the node modules, and now it has successfully installed these packages. Now I just need to open this folder inside Visual Studio. I will execute the simple command code dash. So now it will open this inside my Visual Studio. And in the meantime, I also need to install a nodemon. So I can just npm install nodemon. So it will be a dev dependency. So -tv. So it will install in the background. Let me just check the package.json file here. So if I open this file, you will see that guys, all the dependencies are there: bcrypt, express, flash, session, override, passport local. So now we are installing the nodemon. So just wait for a while. So now you can see that our nodemon is successfully installed here. So now after that, you just need to go to package.json and you just need to write your start script. So just go to the script section. So here we will be creating a start script. So we will just call nodemon server.js. So I will be just editing this from index.js, changing it to server.js. So this will be the starting point of our project here. And now I can just simply write npm start in the command prompt in order to start the project. Let me just create server.js. Sorry guys, it is not there inside it. You need to create it. Let me just delete this file here. It needs to be created in the root folder. So just inside this, so just create server.js. So inside this file, we just need to first of all import express, require express. So you just need to import express here. After that, we will be creating an app variable, initializing it to express, and also calling a app.listen and passing a port number to it. Let's suppose 4000, and it takes a callback function. Let me just request response. It is the arrow function. In the console, I can just print out that server is listening on port 5000. And let me just also make a get request, app.get to the home page. Whenever we hit the home page, we will be displaying a simple response, which is response.send hello world. That's it. Now if I save this, and now if I go back to command prompt, in order to run our project, I can simply write npm start. So this will start the project by executing the nodebon command automatically. You will see that nodebon server.js. Now server is listening on port 5000. If I open my project, sorry, let me just edit this. I'm listening on 4000. So let me just change this to 4000. So this is a very advantage of nodebon. So if I make this change, it will automatically restart the server. I need not have to do it manually. So now if I go back to localhost 4000, you will see that, guys, it is sending me a response that is hello world. Now we just need to include some more dependencies. Guys, I forgot one other dependency we need here, which is EJS. So basically EJS is a template engine for rendering out HTML documents inside your Node.js applications. So basically just write here npm install EJS. So it will install this dependency. So basically we will be making 3 HTML documents. First is a profile page, second is register form, and third is login form. So for that we will be having this view engine. So just now start your server by executing npm start. So now we just need to import this and set this in our Express application. So now after you initialize your Express app, you just need to app.set. This is a method. So inside this you will pass view engine, and you will set this view engine to EJS. That's it. Now in order to use this, in order to use this template, we will be using a render method. Inside this I will pass first of all the home page route, which is index.ajax. So the extension is not required. You can just write this like this. And now inside this, our directory structure here, we will be creating a new folder which is views. So inside this, just create a new folder which is views. So inside this we will be creating a index.ejs file. So inside this we will be having a simple heading which is a profile page, let's suppose, just for testing purposes. Now if I reload the application, you will see that it has automatically restarted the server. Now if I reload this application, you will see that it is fetching the EJS template that we have written here. We are loading successfully the index.ejs file. Now we just need to make the login and registration form. So guys, we can also pass variables inside this EJS template here. You can see that. So let me just pass a variable here. Instead of curly brackets, I will pass the name of my name, that is Gautam. And in order to receive this argument variable inside index.ejs, there is a syntax here. You can just insert dynamic variables here. Let's suppose hi, and there is a round bracket and a percentage sign, and then equal to. And now you will just write your variable name. That's it. And also close this angular bracket, percentage sign, and close this. That's it. So this is the way by which you can just insert dynamic variables. Now if I just refresh it, it will take this name property and it will say hi Gautam. If I refresh it, you will see that now I am successfully. Now if I just change the name to, let's suppose, inside this to John, it will say hi John instead of hi Gautam. You will see that. Now this is a very practical way by which you can just insert variables inside your EJS template that I just wanted to share with you. Now guys, we will be creating the 2 routes for the login and register. So I can just copy paste this here, code here, and repeat 2 more times, paste it, and I will just change this to /login and this to /register. So here I will just delete this. So instead I will be passing a template which will be here register, and in this case I will be passing login. So this I need to create here inside my views folder. So just go to views folder and create first of all login.ejs, and also create another which is register.ejs. Sorry, just rename it to EJS. So now we will first of all be making the register here, register.ejs form. So this will be containing a heading which is register, and also it will be containing a form. First it has a action attribute. It will go to /register, and the method will be, guys, it will be post route, and it will contain three input fields. First is input type text, and name is equal to name because it will contain the name of the person. And let me also give an ID to it, name, and a placeholder name, and let me just make it required for the validation part. Also we will be having input type email, name is equal to email, ID email, placeholder email, and let me also make it required. Then we have the input type password, name is equal to password, ID is equal to password, placeholder password, and it should also be required. That's it. After this we will be having a simple button of type submit, and the text will be register. That's it. Now if I just save this and go to the register route, guys, and register route, you will see that it will have contain the register. Now we just want to have a anchor tag which will go to the login page. So a simple anchor tag which will go to the login route, and I will just say login. That's it. Now if I refresh it, it will also contain a login route. It will go to the login page. It doesn't contain, we just need to create the login form also. So just go to login EJS, and this will contain login here. And also we will be having a form action will be going to /login, and the method will again be post. So inside this we will be having just two input fields. So here I can just copy paste the code that I have written for email and password, and also a button. Let me just copy all this and paste it inside login. So guys, this will be not register, it will be login, and it will go to the register. So just make these changes. So it will go to /register. That's it. And also that's it. It will go to /login, and it will go to /register. That's it. So now if I just refresh the application, it will contain the login form, and if I click the register here, you will see that it is interrelated with each other. So now we have made the forms. Now we just need to hook up the functionality of password in order to make this authentication application. So now guys, we will be handling the post request which is coming in the register.ajas. You can see that if we submit this form, we will be going to /register, and we will be making a post request. So now in order to handle this, we will be making a post request here. So right here, just write app.post, and here you just need to pass /register. So this will take the two arguments, which is request and response. So this will be an arrow function, and here we just need to get the name, email, and the password. So in order to get this, we need to use a middleware of Express. So right here, when you initialize your Express app, you just need to initialize app.use and call this express.url encoded and pass a option which is extended to false. So after passing this middleware, we can just get the values of email and password, something like this. That is request.body.email, something like this. The name attribute that we have given to the fields here. In this case, I have given password and email. So in this way, we can easily retrieve the values inside our server.js. But before that, we just need to include some dependency. So in order to hash the password, we will be including bcrypt. So right here at the top, you just need to include bcrypt and require this dependency bcrypt.js. And just right here after that, we just need to declare a users array. So initially this will be empty. We will be appending users when we register our users into this array. So now inside our post route, we will be having a try catch block. So just declare a try catch block. So inside this will be a async function. So inside this try catch, we will be first of all be declaring a new variable which will be hashed password. So inside this, we will be having our hashed password. So now in order to declare the hash password, we will be using the bcrypt library. So now we can just hash our password. So just write here await, because this function is async. So now it will be having await keyword here. Now we will be using bcrypt.hash function in order to hash the password. So now we will be passing the original password which is written by the user, which we can get easily by request.body.password and comma, and the second argument is a number. I will be passing 10 here. So you can just pass any number of your choice. So this totally depends upon how secure that you want your password. So this will contain the hash password. Now we just need to push our users. So users push. So this is an array here. We are pushing a new entry into it. So this expects first of all the ID. So ID will be current timestamp. So I will be just passing date.now and I will be converting it to string. So I will be converting this to toString. So it will have the string representation. The second argument will be the name. So the name will be equal to request.body.name. Email will be request.body.email, and password will be the hash password that we have generated in the earlier step. So I will initialize it to that. So this is our object. It contains 4 properties: ID, name, email, and password. Now I just need to have the redirect here. So request or response dot redirect. I will redirect the user to the login page if the registration is successful. But if the registration is not successful, I will be having the catch block. Inside this, I will be redirecting it to the register. That's it. So this is the code here of the post route to the register. Now if I just reload the application and if I check if any kind of error is there, nothing is there. Everything is fine here. Now if I just go back to the register route and let me just provide a name John and also provide a email address john@gmail.com. If I provide a password 123456, as soon as I click the register button, if I check nothing is printing out because I haven't console log. So let's suppose at last I also want to console log the users. So right here, after this I will console log the users. So console log users. So this will display the users. So now if I just refresh it, and once again if I go to the register route and type the name, that is john@gmail.com, and password 123456, click the register button. So you will see that, guys, it has generated this entry with ID has been a specific ID has been attached. This is the current timestamp. Name is John and email you can see that john@gmail.com. And the main thing you can see that the password has been hashed here. So we are making this application more secure. So now we just need to have the login functionality. We can just do login with these credentials. So now we will be logging the users using passport. Now we will be bringing this library passport right here at the top here, const passport, and I will be requiring this library which is passport. That's it. So now in order to initialize this passport, I will be making a separate file. So just make a separate file of passport config. This is a file .js. So just make this file. So inside this we will be having a function which is init. So inside this init we will be receiving the passport reference that we will pass here. So this is a function. Now just go to server.js and we need to just import this. So const passport config, and we need to import this file. So just write here require, and we will include this file passport config, and then we will call this function which is passport config, and it receives the reference of passport. We are just passing this passport reference here to this function. So now inside this init function we will be receiving this passport, and we will be integrating the passport functionality in our application. So now inside this we will be using the passport local strategy. So right here at the top we just need to include this. So const, and we will be naming this as local strategy variable name, and I will be including this require passport local, and I will be extracting the strategy to it. So dot strategy, that's it. Now we just need to use here inside this init function passport dot use. Inside this I will pass new local strategy. So inside this it takes some options, 2 options. First is the username field, and I will be initializing it to the email, and the second will be the function. So I will be declaring a function which will be authenticator. So this function I will create right here at the top here in the init here. So const authenticator. So this is the arrow function. It receives 3 arguments. So I will write here, first argument will be email and password and done. So done function will be called whenever we are done with this functionality. So now after that we will be having 2 functions which will be passport. Right after that, passport.serialize user. So inside this we will be having 2 arguments. First is the email comma done. So this will be arrow function. So just make sure put a set of curly brackets, and also we will be having deserialize user. This will contain 2 arguments which will be id comma done. That's it. So this will be again arrow function. So set of curly brackets. So basically these are the functions which will be required in order to register the user and also the logout to it. So now inside this we will be authenticated the user by using the password inside this function. So now we will getting the user by email here inside this authenticator function, but just right here inside serialize user, just rename it to user, guys. It is my mistake here. So just rename it to user here, and right here we will be getting the user, getting the logged in user, and we will check the email and the password. So first of all we will be initializing a user variable, and we will be making this function which is get user by email. So inside this function we will pass our email which we have received, and we will check after that if user is equal to null. So if the user is incorrect, so inside this we will be returning the then function done. Inside this the first argument will be null and the second will be false because we don't receive any kind of user, and the third argument is a appropriate error that you can just pass to the user, that is message colon. Inside this I can just pass wrong email address. So just pass this error. You will be getting this error whenever you pass a wrong email address to it. So now after comparing the email address, if the email address is correct, then we will be having our check to compare the hashes of the password. Compare the hashes of the password. So right here we will be having a try catch. So inside try catch we will be having a error. So we will be catching that error. So first of all, make this async. This function, we just make this function as async because we will be using await. So right here in the try catch, first of all we will be comparing our password. So right here in the if condition we will check await, just write await, and here we will be writing bcrypt. So basically we just need to get the module here, right here at the top, const bcrypt, and we will require that bcrypt module here, bcrypt.js. And now I will be using this compare method. So just write here bcrypt.compare, and I will be passing the password, and the user has passed. So user.password. So if the 2 hashes matches, then we can just know that the passwords are correct. So in that case I can just write here return done, and the first argument will be null, and the second argument I can just pass the user. That's it. So in the else block I can just return done. If the passwords don't match, then we can just pass a error. So here in the inside the second argument we can just pass false, and also we can just pass a message to the user that in this case your password is incorrect. And lastly we can write in the catch block. So if any kind of error take place in the server, I can just console log the error, or I can just return, call this done function and just pass this error. That's it. So this is the code for the login. So now after writing this function, we just need to include this get user by email function. So right here put a comma and write this function, that is get user by email. And now we just need to export this function. So right here at the bottom just write this line, that is module.exports, and is equal to the function name. So in this case our function name is init, so just write here init. So this statement is very much necessary in order to use this function in other files, so inside server.js. So right here in the server.js, and when we are calling this function password config, we can just pass our second function, which will be get user by email. So this will be an arrow function. So here we will be calling users, which our array is there. So this is contains a find method. So inside this we will be having the user property. So we will compare that if the user dot email is equal to the email that we have passed here. So this line you just need to write here. So we will find user by their appropriate email. So just put as another equal to, this is triple equal to. So this is for the conditional equal to. So just make this triple equal to. So now we just need to write some import statements so that our server can recognize the passport library. So right here at the top, we just need to import some libraries, which first will be Flash. So it will require Express Flash library for the error messages, and second will be the session. So it will be require Express Session. So we just need to use these middlewares. So after you initialize your Express app, we will be using these middlewares. So app.use first will be Flash. So this is just a function, and second will be the session. So this takes some options. So inside this curly brackets, first option it takes is the secret key. So we will be having this secret key in our environment variables. So this is there in the environment variables. In order to access that, so you will write here process.env dot followed by your key name. So inside in this case I will write session secret. So now we just need to create a env file. So right here inside your directory, just create a .env file. So this stands for environment. Now inside this you will be declaring session secret, and you can just assign any value of your choice. I will be assigning at secret. Just save this file and close it. And now we just need to include our session environment variables. Right here at the top you just need to include it. So now right here at the top you just need to write a simple if condition here. So just move your cursor to the very top here. So we will just write if condition here. If process.env dot node env is not equal to production. So if it is not a production application, if it is a development application, we will require our .env file, and we will call this config method. Just call this config method. So we have successfully imported our .env file right here at the top here. Now we just need to pass two more options inside our session middleware. So the second option, so the second variable is resave. So this needs to be false, and the save uninitialized. So this needs also to be false. So just make this two options to it. So this is the session middleware. So now after declaring all these middlewares, we can just pass the password middleware also, app.use, and we will pass password.initialize. So this is a method which will initialize the password library, and the second one will be the password.session. This method we also need to call. So now after setting password middlewares, we just need to go to the login route. Whenever we are posting route here, app.post for the login. So I think I haven't created that route. So right here after app.get, I will write app.post for the login. So when we hit this route /login, we will be calling this passport.authenticate method. So we will be passing the local strategy in the first argument, and the second argument it takes is the set of options. First is the success redirect. So whenever there is a successful login, we just need to redirect to a route. So we will be going to the home route or the profile route. Put a comma, and if there is some kind of error which is there, which is failure redirect, in that case I need to redirect user to the /login route. And we also need to display some message that is failure flash. I will be initializing it to true. So this option makes that we can just display the error messages in case that our login functionality is not successful. So now guys, in order to display the error messages, we just go to that is login.ejs. This is the file that we need to configure here. So right here we will be displaying error messages. So just put a angular bracket %, and after that we will be having a if condition. So if message.error, just write this message.error. We need to have the if condition. So we will close this by another angular bracket. Just write this. So inside this we will be populating my variables here. So angular bracket %size is equal to, and then I can just write here message.error. That's it. And also close this, and also close the last bracket which will be having this. So surround this with this syntax. So with the help of this we can just display the error messages which will be coming if any kind of error take place. Guys, this is not message, this is messages. So just make s here, just add s here. So now guys, after doing this, if I just go back to the command prompt, so there is an error which is coming here, cannot find module.env. Sorry guys, I haven't installed this module. So just run a simple command npm install and install this module.env. Enter it and it will install your module. So right here in the server.js, right here at the top, we are requiring this module. So it doesn't find this module, so that is why the error was coming. So just install this, and after installing this, let me just npm start, and hopefully it will now start. So it is starting my server here. So now no error is coming. So now if I go back to the route here, which is register, let me just register a person. Let me have john@gmail.com and 1 2 3 4 5 6, and hopefully if I register here it will redirect me to the login route. And if I just check the command prompt, you will see that a user has been generated with the name john@gmail.com, and the password is hash. Now if I use the same email address john@gmail.com and password was 1 2 3 4 5 6, click the login here, you will see that it is loading here, and it is not doing anything here. Let me check why it is doing that. Guys, I figured out the error because inside our password config.js we haven't written our serialized user and deserialized user. So inside the serialized user you just need to call done function, and the first argument will be null and the second will be user.id. That's it. And in the deserialized there will be a lot of code, just one line of code. Just call the done function. The first will be null for the error, and the second will be get user by id. So this function is very much similar to get user by email. So here I will pass my id. That's it. So right here at the top you just need to include this function also. So just put a comma and get user by id, include this, and now we just need to go to server.js, and right here when we are calling this function, so let me just make it on another line. We just need to call another function, put a comma here, and this time we will be fetching the id. So this will be same here. I will be just copy pasting it, and I will be replacing email by id. So here I will just replace id, and this time we are comparing id. So just rename it to id. That's it. So this is the whole password here, guys. Let me also close this. So this is it. Let me just check the command prompt if any kind of error is there. So you can see that no error is there. So now if I just refresh the application, go to the register route, register a new user. Let's suppose again old John here, john@gmail.com. Password, let me see 1 2 3 4 5 6. Click on register. You will see that a register will be there. Object is created. Now let me just test for the error messages. If I enter the correct email address and enter a random password incorrect, I will be getting this error, password is incorrect. And if I enter a wrong email address and if I enter the correct password, I will be getting an error that is wrong email address. And now if I enter the correct email address, that is john@gmail.com, and enter the password 1 2 3 4 5 6 and click on the login button, you will see that, guys, it is telling me the name, that is hi John, and we are successfully logged in and redirected to the profile page. So just put a return statement here, just right here before you call the done function here inside the password config.js in the deserialized user function, and just now go to the server.js, and now we will replace the static value that we have given inside our home route here. So I will be just be deleting this John here, and instead I will be providing the dynamic value which will be coming from the passport, which will be request.user.name. So now if I refresh the application and show it to you that if I go to the register route, and let's suppose I give it different names to it, and let me have the email address and password. If I register it and use the same address here, email address and password, and click on login, you will see that the name has been replaced by the name that I have given in the registration process. So this is the dynamic value that we are fetching. Now guys, we will be securing our routes here in this application. So there is a big loophole in this application that our routes are not protected. Even the user which is not logged in can see the profile page. For this, I want to show you, if I just make any kind of change to the application and reload the application, and if I reload it, you will see that no user is there, because we are not storing these users in any kind of database. We are just storing them in memory. So if I just reload it, you will see that the profile page is there and no user is there. So we just need to secure our route. So password library does provide this functionality for us. So right here, we just want to write a custom function right here at the bottom here, function check authenticated. So this is a custom function, middleware function, that we will include in the request. So this takes 3 argument, request response comma next, and inside this we just need to have a if condition here, request dot is authenticated. So this is a method that passport library provides us in order to check whether the user is logged in or not. So if the user is currently logged in, then we just need to write return next, and if the user is not logged in, we just need to redirect them into the login page. So here I will just write /login, that's it. And now we just need to integrate this middleware that we have written this into the login request. So just go to app.get here. When we are making a get request to the login URL, I will just write check authenticated comma here, that's it. Now if I just reload the application, this error will not be shown here. You will see that we are not logged in user, so that we are just redirected to the login page here. So now our routes are protected. Now if I just register here, register with John here, and let me have email as john@gmail.com, 123456. Click on the register here and use the same email address, john@gmail.com, and password 123456, and click on login. You will see that the message is printed out, hi John. And now if I wanted to go to the home route /login, I can go back to the login route. So this needs to be prevented here. I can even go to the register route. This needs to be prevented because we are correctly logged in. We cannot go to these routes. So let me just implement this functionality also. So now just go back to the server.js. For this, we just need to create another custom function. So this time this will be check not authenticated. This is the function name. It takes the request response and next. And now we just need to make the same check that we have made in the previous function. I will just copy this. So now if the user is authenticated, then we just need to redirect them into response.redirect, and I will be redirecting into the home page, that is profile page. That's it. Now the user, if the user is not authenticated, I just want to go call this next function, call the next middleware. And now we just need to call this check not authenticated to all the routes that I wanted to secure. So first of all, I will call this /login check not authenticated, also to the register also, check not authenticated, and also to the post route also. So when we submit the form, so this is a get request, so again I will be check not authenticated, and to the post request as well, check not authenticated. That's it. So now our all routes are secure now, right now. If I just reload the application, no error is there. Now if I just reload the application and let me just register a new user and have John here, john@gmail.com, 123456, click on register, and if I log in with the same email address, john@gmail.com, 123456, click on the login button. Now guys, if I wanted to go to /login, it will still redirect me to the I think I am getting some error here. Guys, we have made a mistake here. We forgot to write return here. That's my mistake. I fully apologize for that. So just write here return here. So just reload the application, and now we just need to register once again because we are not storing it any kind of database. So just register John here with this email address, and let me also change the email address to john@gmail.com, and this will be 123456. click on register, and let me just use the same email address, john@gmail.com, 123456. click on login. And now guys, if I wanted to go to /login, it will redirect me back to the profile page. Now our routes are very secure. If I wanted to go to /register, it will again go back to the profile page because we are authenticated user. Now the last thing is remaining guys. We want the logout button also inside our index.js. When we press that button, I wanted to log out from my application. Now just go to the index.ejs file wherever we are populating my values. So right here we will be having a button of type submit, and this will be a simple button having logout text to it. Now if I refresh the browser here, you can see that our logout button will be there. Now we just need to make a delete request inside our server.js. So just go to server.js, and we just need to make a simple delete request. So just move it here, app.delete, and the route will be /logout. So this is the route here guys. So now this takes the request and the response. This will be arrow function, and passport library does provide the logout functionality. We just need to call the simple function which is logout. So this will log out the user, and now we will be redirecting the user to this login page. That's it. And one problem is there guys, we cannot use delete in our forms. Forms doesn't support delete, they only support get and post. So now for this specific purpose, we will be using this library that is method overriding. We have installed this earlier on, so I will be including this method. I will be naming this as method overriding, and I will be including this require method override. And now I just need to use this method override here inside our middleware. So app.use method overriding, and here you just need to provide a name from which you will be using this library. So just I will be providing underscore method. That's it. Now after setting this, we just need to go to our index.ejs. I will want to surround this with the form tag. Method will be post, and now the action attribute is very much important guys. You just need to write this action attribute to /logout and question mark method underscore method. So whatever name that you have given, underscore method is equal to delete, all caps. That's it. So you just need to surround your button to this form tag and close it, close the form tag. And now if I just save this application guys, hopefully the application is complete. If I just refresh it, I want to recreate the user, register the user, john@gmail.com, 1 2 3 4 5 6, click the register button. And now if I just use the same email address, john@gmail.com, 1 2 3 4 5 6, click on the login button, and there is a logout button. If I press this button, you will see that it is successfully redirected me to the login page. Now the application is complete, guys. So thanks very much for watching this video. If you like this video, then please hit the like button. Please subscribe the channel by hitting the red subscribe button, which is there. I can just show you the subscribe button. This is the subscribe button. Please hit it. Please show the love to me, and also hit this notification bell icon. And I will be seeing you in the next video. Until then, thank you very much.